Hello, everyone. All two of you, minus me and Brad. It's just Michael over there. How's it going? Welcome to another edition of
It's Chris.
Scarif Live. Let's see who's over here. Oh, hey, how's it going, man? Let's see
Sort
here.
of here.
We are here. How is what is today? I'm like totally lost. It's been like Monday
I don't
Monday
know,
for the last
man.
3 months.
It's been Monday since March. It is.
Ex-
We may have
exactly.
gotten to Tuesday. I don't know, but yeah,
But I, for some reason, I thought it was Friday because we usually do kind of our little Friday live chats. Um, but it's not. It's Thursday. How's it going, brother?
it's nice and quiet now. It's been a long day. Work's been crazy. All the COVID stuff. So it'll be good to geek it out a little bit here at the end and talk some Star Wars.
Excellent. And we got a special show. We have some podcast people on with us. But before we get into that, I do want to remind everybody that if you are watching us for the first time, I'm sorry. But
Disclaimer.
if you are, thanks for finding us. We are the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast, hashtag Team Scarif, and this is going to be a live recording of our next episode. So this should be a lot of fun. We are a podcast, so if you guys, are subscribed to some of your other favorite podcasts, we can also be found on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Podcast.com, Pandora. Check out your smart speakers and tell it to play the Scare of Scuttlebutt podcast. Anchor, and I guess wherever else you subscribe to your other favorite podcasts. And
MySpace.
that, MySpace. No, not MySpace. And sure, you guys are watching us on YouTube right now. Michael, thanks for hanging out. I know our other Red 5 family guys are probably also recording. I know Charlie's recording with our buddy Cam Ray, and that's why he was not first in line. So we got a lot of things happening, and next week for Red 5 Roundup, there's going to be a lot of collaborations. So I can't wait to get everybody's input on that, so we can find out what everybody's doing, and share it with the rest of the galaxy. Right, Brad?
That's right. Yeah. I think we need to get a. I think we should get trademarks on all these hashtags that we have. How many hashtags do we have to?
Yeah, we got a couple. We got a few. So just a reminder: the Scare Scuttlebutt podcast is a proud member of the Red 5 Network. You can find a lot of our shows and member shows on Red 5, the number 5, network.com. Check it out. There's a lot of us out there doing some wonderful things. It's a lot of fun. So check out the website.
We got a great topic tonight. I think.
Yeah, it again, one thing that I want to remind everybody, I really want to let's do some housekeeping here. I really want
Oh
to
yeah.
mention our patrons on Patreon. I can never say that fast, but we have some tremendous supporters that follow the podcast. Drunk 3PO, Chad at Hyperspace and Holocrons, my buddy Nicholas Schaefer. Nick, how's it going? Matt Vader 74. And I just want to mention he is a Twitch superstar now. He became
Yeah.
an affiliate on Twitch just recently. So congratulations to Matt Vader 74. If you guys are into gaming over on Twitch, head on over to Twitch and look for Matt Vader 74 because he likes to play games out there. So give him a follow and see what he's doing over the weekend. Another member of the Salty Nerd podcast, Salty Nerd himself, Alex. Thank you very much for your patronage. And Shore Trooper Extraordinaire, WR-0923. Thank you very much for your support. You remember WR back in our academy, Imperial Academy days?
Indeed. Indeed. Yes. Most of that's a blur. We drank most of it away, but I do remember something.
And another wonderful patron and follower, Joey Rosales, who is contributing. We're going to have a quick little contest at the end of the broadcast. He is contributing a digital code for Solo, a Star Wars story in 4K. So if you guys hang around till the end, we will announce how you can be eligible to get that code. If you guys have not witnessed the awesomeness that is Solo, a Star Wars story, especially in 4K, this is your show. And last but not least, our executor level member, Shannon of Talking Star Wars. She's got a very ambitious project in the works, and I'm sure we'll hear more of it as that project progresses. Really exciting stuff that she wants to do. So yeah, that's a list of our wonderful patrons. I just want to give them a little shout out and say thank you. There wouldn't be a Scuttle without your butts.
That was just my butt. Now it's
everybody's.
Yeah, and we better get better be part of the casting call for Shannon's work there. I'm gonna be real put out if we don't get at least the first call to that thing. It's probably just gonna be Alex. Alex will get hired. We won't. But
yeah.
Alex will get a gig.
At least it'll sound good with Alex.
Indeed.
Indeed. All right. So let us bring out our special guests. And Brad, we're going to talk about a couple of things, but I wanted to. Should we talk Star Wars news before we bring them out, or do you want to include them in?
No, let's bring them out. Let's bring them out.
All right, let's bring them out. So, Steve and Joey, here they are. How's it going, everybody?
How you doing?
Hi. Hello.
And thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I like that hat. Where'd you get that?
I really don't remember. Probably at Celebration. Probably at Celebration somewhere last year.
Excellent. And I love your Marvel poster back there.
Yeah, I don't have anything closer to Star Wars in my room.
That's okay. And again, just want a quick little shout out to the folks in the chat. 2med2 is in there. Vader Girl 28. Brad, did you know that Vader Girl is one of our new subscribers on YouTube? I bet you didn't know that.
Well, man, I do now.
Yeah, I'm here to educate. Thank you so much, Vader Girl 28, for that subscription. But yeah, so guys, Steve, Joey, tell us a little bit about your podcast. What do you guys call yourselves?
Rogue One Radio.
It's called Rogue One Radio, and
it's decent.
It is decent. It actually did start out as a Star Wars only podcast, but recently, over the last month, we started branching out a little bit into other fandoms. But still primarily Star Wars. In addition to talking about Star Wars and everything else, we play songs from various bands that you've probably never heard of.
That explains the harmonica before we went live. Nice.
That was me. That's my band. One man show.
Excellent.
Hey, that band touch is really nice. When I was listening, it's almost like listening to radio back in the day. The ones that played kind of, I guess, like the AM radio stations, like the college radio stations almost, where you can just tune in. They talk about what's going on, and then play your favorite local band. So I think that's a really nice touch of the podcast.
Thanks. Yeah, I enjoy playing music. And in addition to podcasting, I am also in a band. So music is as much a part of my life as Star Wars is.
Yeah, he played some of his songs last week. Or was it this week?
He played one of my songs last week.
Shameful self-promotion.
Nice.
Yes.
Nothing shameful about that. That's awesome. That's pretty good.
We 100% endorse that.
Yeah, we do it all the time, whether people like it or not.
The podcast has been around. We started it back in November. It was me and my friend Charlie.
Last year, November.
Yeah, just last November. We actually took a hiatus that was longer than we had expected it to be. Part of which was because my original co-host decided he didn't want to do it anymore, and I had to figure out what was going to happen. So I took a little bit more time getting back to it, which is why we are only 18 episodes into it now, as opposed to probably closer to 30.
Sure.
And now I'm part of it.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Billy's been with us for about a month now.
Nice.
And everything has gotten better because
no wonder.
I have guaranteed one new listener.
He's not shy of
Is that your girlfriend?
Yes.
By the way, is she watching tonight?
I think I told
All
her
right.
to watch. I gave her the link and everything. So
What's her name?
I'm not going to
Annie.
say.
Oh. All right. Well, if Annie is watching,
Danny.
Danny, sorry.
Yeah.
Welcome
And
to
Danny.
the Scarif.
And Danny.
Yeah. He's a player. No.
That's humiliation. Here we go.
Excellent. So I wanted to get you guys on. We're going to be talking about our main topic is very interesting. We're going to obviously be talking about Rogue One, but before that, wanted to see if we can touch on a little bit of some of the rumors that have been circulating in the Star Wars community recently. We got some news about rumors. Lando is making his way back to streaming. And what do you guys think of that? They announced that that actually both actors, Billy D. Williams and I keep wanting to say Childish Gambino. But he's coming back, and what do you guys think about that?
I'm excited. I'm all for it. I read that earlier this week, and I was pretty pumped about it, especially with Glover coming back to reprise his iteration of Lando. I really liked it. Really like to see what he's been up to since the end of Solo. Make Solo 2 happen.
Yeah. So, Joey, did you watch Solo? What did you think of that?
I have. He forced me to. Not really. We went to saw it in Pete. I think it's good. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted a sequel, but now I do. I think it'd be interesting. I think it
would be. I think it would be interesting. But the funny thing is, Brad, I know we haven't talked about this yet, but it was, with the Make Solo 2 movement happening, and then they announced that he's coming back for a spinoff. You would think that that he'd come back for a Solo 2 movie instead of a spinoff. They would announce that first, and obviously nothing is official yet. But Brad, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, personally, I think a spinoff would be more entertaining than a Solo 2 myself. I still consider Episode 4, Solo 2 in my book. And I think if they call it anything but the Calrissian Chronicles, then they miss a golden opportunity on that one. And if
Totally.
Billy D's going to be in there, if it's sort of like flashbacks where he's telling the Calrissian Chronicles, and then it flashes back to Donald Glover, I think that could be really entertaining, as long as it doesn't take itself too seriously. As long as it's just a fun show and Lando being Lando, I think the sky's the limit on that one.
That I've never thought of that. That is a fantastic idea. You know what? I'm gonna call Lucasfilm and see if they can just hire you to.
Right. How many volumes of the Calrissian Chronicles would he have had by episode 9 time frame?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think it writes itself there.
And so does that mean that we are closer to a Solo 2 because of this announcement? Do you think?
I hope so.
What do you think, Steve?
I think you're right. I think we are I think we're closer to maybe getting a Lando movie.
Nice.
And maybe they will start following the the Marvel format where the shows like Shield, Agents of Shield, tied into the movies. Maybe they will tie in the streaming service to the movie a little bit more.
It's funny. Marvel and what they've done to that franchise is very interesting, and I wish that Star Wars would do the same, especially with the Marvel shorts. I would love to see just kind of like um, when you used to buy the DVDs, you'd get like the Marvel shorts inside there that were like part of, not really part of the movie, but just kind of like extra tidbit of information, little scenes or like a mini movie. I wish they would do that with Star Wars. They do actually do it with the Star Trek stuff on CBS All Access, and those seem to be very interesting. And I wish they would do something like that for Star Wars. What do you guys think of Star Wars shorts? And I think now that Disney Plus is out there, they can definitely, release them there for the fans.
I think I'd watch those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch them too. I think I don't know if you've heard any of the stories surrounding whether or not Kennedy is leaving, but if that does happen, and we get a new head creative team over all of Lucasfilm, I think you're going to see a lot of changes, and I think they're going to capitalize as much on Disney Plus as they can.
I think so too. I think they created this platform, and I think it's kind of ripe for storytelling, especially the way that people have been used to, as far as streaming. Especially now with COVID and everything, no theaters, movies are being released, on demand and streaming. So it's a very interesting time for the movie-going audience, both behind the scenes and folks like us watching the movies.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think they have to. I mean, it's going to be a while for the big screen to pick back up to what it once was. So I think they absolutely have to focus on the streaming services. But so far everything that Marvel or that Star Wars and Lucasfilm, everything that they know works. As far as what worked for the Marvel, they've been very reluctant, it seems like, to pick up on that and incorporate that into the Star Wars, franchise. So hopefully they pick that up.
Well, right, because I mean, who knew how big a hit The Mandalorian was going to be? I mean, that thing just blew up. And
Yoda showed up. Everyone did.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I was not that excited when they announced that. I was not terribly excited for that, but
Dad was.
I was really excited. I attended the panel at Celebration. Being 20, 30 feet away from Dave Filoni, that was pretty awesome.
He peed himself.
Oh yeah, they'll do it to you.
But yeah, I was excited for it, but even I didn't. Even I thought it overperformed my expectations.
Yeah, and like Joey said, Baby Yoda showed up.
Yeah,
that's the only character.
He changed the game. I mean, Baby Yoda has become such an element in all types of industry. Like, I work for an electronics company, and we've got a license with Star Wars for specifically like night lights and that sort of thing. And we've got a big Baby Yoda push coming out right about the time season 2 hits.
Nice. You heard it here first. Baby Yoda nightlights.
Yeah. I've seen them. They're pretty good. They're going to have Mandalorian nightlights too, but everybody's going to be hoarding the Baby Yoda ones. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of different elements of industry out there capitalizing on this Baby Yoda. So any type of press that you can give a Star Wars product is going to be good press for Star Wars as a whole.
Sure.
Yeah. I expect to free Baby Yoda Nightlight, by the way.
Okay.
Whereas
You've
Me
got
too. If
the
it's that easy, I'll take
right.
It's not.
Since you're giving them out, I'll take one.
hey,
Hey, maybe closer to the time they're about to be released, we'll do a giveaway for our podcast.
we could.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah. I want a Mando Nightlight too, Vader's girl.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe Yoda Nightlight's cool, but really, I want the Mandalorian one.
Sure,
Everyone.
yeah. So so that's interesting. We'll see what happens in the future, and I'm sure they'll make an announcement soon. But yeah, all these rumors that are coming out and speculations, it's always fun to speculate. Star Wars has always been like that. But let's see what happens. We posted a question on the Scarif podcast Twitter, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. We got some really good feedback. So I wanted to ask you guys. We'll start with Brad. So do you guys think Chewbacca should have gone back home to his planet and his family after Han bit the bullet in The Force Awakens? Do you guys think that his life debt was accomplished, was fulfilled, or do you guys think that he should have stayed behind to continue to fight, regardless of the fact that he just met these people like 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, when you first told me about that question, the first thing I thought of, you guys remember the King Arthur movie from a few years ago? It didn't do that well in the theaters, but it reminded me of that. I'll explain that in a sec. But as far as the life debt goes, we don't have all the specifics on the life debt. I mean, we think most of them, but yeah, technically speaking, that would have been done when Han died. But he's not. I mean, it wasn't just because he owed him, right? That was his best friend.
Sure.
And yeah, even beyond that. But as far as the life debt goes, the King Arthur movie, I was thinking of, they owed allegiance to Rome, and they were going to have to fight these guys, but they finally got their freedom from Rome, but they stayed for the battle at the end, but they did it as free men, not just because they owed allegiance to Rome anymore. They that was their own choice, and they did that under their own volition. And even though a couple of them died, at least they did it as free men. And I think Chewbacca may have had the same sort of mentality on that. He no longer owed a life debt, but that was his choice at that point to do it. So I think he used that opportunity to honor, because he knew what Han would have wanted to do. So he used that opportunity to honor Han's memory.
Yeah, good thinking. And somebody had also mentioned that his love ran deep too with Leia, and obviously we see that in The Rise of Skywalker. I think it was very emotional when he found out that Leia was gone. He just dropped to his knees. It was really, really good. So yeah, yeah.
Dad
Steve,
cried.
what do you think?
I
think we all cried. We all cried a little.
Yeah, just a little.
Oh,
The first 3 times.
you were falling. Don't lie.
I would have to agree with Brad. I think part of me thinks he should have stayed on Kashyyyk because they were having a bad time. After finally breaking the chains of the Empire in that book. But yeah, you mean a life debt means life. So
Whose life?
I think I agree that he should have stayed, because not staying would have been a blight against his honor. And with that in mind, there's a chance they wouldn't have even taken him back if they knew he had broken a life debt.
Yeah. Good comment from Vader Girl. Broke my heart hearing Chewie yell. Yeah, that was, and it was a really good touch. I wonder who came up with that direction as far as having Jonas fall to his knees, because that was pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was rough.
that sucked. I cried a little.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, I mean, at that point, Chewie has been around for a really long time. And Brad, you're right. They were best friends. It was
Best.
more, I think it was more that than anything else. And obviously, Ben was still a solo, and I don't know. There might have been a fleeting connection between Chewie and Ben, um,
Yeah.
to see if there's anything that he can do. Once he hooked back up with Leia, maybe the life debt would have transferred to her, but it was not to be. Really sad.
Sad stuff.
Any other thoughts on Chewbacca? Uh, I think we're talking about Solo. I think what did you guys think of Chewbacca's performance in Solo? I think for me, he stole the show.
Yeah,
Chewbacca
I
did.
really liked it. I think it was pretty funny.
As far as his performance, I really liked his performance as Chewbacca. I thought he was a huge asset to that film. However, I think it felt rushed to me as far as their relationship.
Well, they were pushed together like immediately, so
Right. But it seems like they formed that bond really quickly.
I have best friends that I like Beck. Like Beck, I knew him 10 minutes and I was like, best friend. Like, that's just me.
Sometimes that happens.
Okay, I can see that.
That could just be me being a youngster. I just said that so I'm lying.
Sometimes you do get that like that. I don't know that
Click.
like third eye, that quick thing. I met Brad online. He was like an internet stranger danger, and look, here we are podcasting. So
I mean, you could be stranger.
But as far as that feeling of being rushed, I think a lot of that may have come from the editing process / the Ron Howard reconstruction.
You're probably right.
A lot of the rework. Of course, they did that in Rogue One too, or Rogue One as well. So it may have been because of that. But what were the results of that poll? How did the people feel about Chewie and the life debt?
it was pretty split. Half people wanted him to just go back home, and he did his duty. But we did get a lot of people that thought that he would stay and help Leia, and stay and help fight the First Order with his friends. So there's a lot of loyalty factors there that people wanted to see kind of play it through. So it really goes to show you how people perceive Chewbacca as a loyal friend, probably one of the most in Star Wars. So it's really great to see, and obviously because of Peter Mayhew's portrayal, I mean he's a character that has grown in popularity year in and year out. So I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, getting back to another character in Star Wars, I know we wanted to talk a little bit about this because did anybody catch Dr. Afra's audiobook? I wanted to download that from Audible. What do you guys think of?
I need Audible.
I have not downloaded it yet, but I did earlier today read issue number 2 of the new Dr. Afra comic book series, because that dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
Does she have her? I know she crosses over to some titles sometimes. I know back when they released Screaming
Vader.
Citadel, and yeah.
She started off on Vader.
Star Wars and Vader.
She started out with Vader, and then ended up getting her own comic.
Yeah. So for folks that are not familiar with Dr. Aphra, I know some people have kind of trimmed it down and called her like a female Indiana Jones in the Star Wars universe. Who wants to give Aphra a little quick intro there?
Me, I can.
Go. All right, Joey, go for it.
Okay, so female Indiana Jones would work if you were trying to keep it short, but
Sure.
she's a rogue archaeologist who worked with Darth Vader. Then she had to fake her death to escape Darth Vader's clutches, and for a while, she was being really sneaky, and she hangs out with a Wookiee bounty hunter and 2 murderous droids.
Nice.
And yeah, great characters. The only character. And she's like Han Solo meets Indiana Jones, and she's a jerk, but she's a self-aware jerk.
Mm. Sound familiar, Brad?
The hell? And maybe. I think you nailed it on that description. And the 000 and BT, I have the Japanese model toys of those, which is my favorite things in my collection. They're just gorgeous. And Lauren left a comment there in the chat as far as a Disney Plus series. Again, I would. They could just make that continuous. I mean, the comic books, they do her a lot of justice. But the adventures that she goes on, especially interacting with characters like Vader and stuff like that, and some of the Star Wars staples. It's so entertaining, and you're not necessarily constricted to the the main canon.
Sure.
They can it's the Star Wars universe, but whatever those kind of like the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, but she's a much more interesting character than the Young Indiana Jones character was when they tried to make that back in the early '90s.
I love that show.
Yeah, I think it would have a lot of that flavor to it, but in Star Wars. So yeah, I'm with Lauren on that one.
I agree with Lauren. I think we need a Disney Plus series about Dr. Aphra. Absolutely.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Who would you guys cast as Captain or Doctor? I keep wanting to say Captain Aphra for some reason, but guys, if you're not familiar with Lauren, and who isn't around here, she is one half of the Galactic Podcast with her cousin Andrea. So give them a follow, give them a listen. But who would you guys cast as Aphra?
That'd be a rough one.
I said a few months ago, I don't know what she's been up to for a while. I posted a picture of Kristen Crook from the old Smallville.
Oh yeah,
series,
Ooh.
and I think she'd be fantastic in that.
I think she's. I don't know if that show ended, but she was on something. It was something vampire-ish.
Christian, what?
Kristen Crook.
Yeah,
She was
Kristen.
she was Lana Lang on Smallville, Joey.
Yeah.
Watch Smallville. Don't me until you watch Smallville. Watch the show.
It was pretty good.
I have watched Smallville. I need to rewatch it, but
yeah.
Oh, he's definitely a fan of Smallville, Brad. He's
Tom Welling's.
Tom Welling is his Superman.
That's the only Superman.
Yeah.
Only one.
That's one of the best Lex Luthors too. I think I love him as Lex Luthor.
Jesse Eisenberg.
I agree. And we actually talked about Superman on our was that our last episode, or was that? No, that was 2 episodes ago. Never mind.
What was?
When the Rogue One Radio did a Superman episode. That was 2 episodes ago.
You could just say we.
Right.
But no, yeah, we did a Superman episode. That was a crazy episode. Go listen to Rogue One Radio.
Actually, but yeah, Brad, I think you've got a good idea there. I think she would make a good Dr. Aphra.
Yeah.
Lauren had a good idea. That's what I think.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the interesting thing for me too. So when Star Wars came out in back in 1977, the marquee was Star Wars starring Alec Guinness and Peter Cushing, and because those were the two actors that people really knew. I mean, they were veteran actors, they were old timers. But obviously the stars were Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and now you say those names and everybody knows them. But for me, I think Lauren's got something interesting. I really do like when unknowns are cast in these bigger than life films because, when you cast like a huge star, let's just say Tom Cruise was in a Star Wars, because it's Tom Cruise, that like takes me out of it for a second. I
That was
I
me with Woody Harrelson in Solo. I can't,
That was Woody Harrelson?
yeah.
Time out. I may be stupid.
But
Okay. Well,
I mean,
see ya.
on that note, how many people know who Christine Crook is, though?
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, she's a great actress, and she made it to a certain level, with Smallville, but she's not, one
She's
of
not a
those
marquee name,
A-listers,
correct?
right?
Carrie Fisher.
But
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah, up and comer would be a great idea as well.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
I think it would be I think it would be great to see because her character has only been ever in print, so to bring her to life would be great. That scenario would be a little different than someone like Saw Gerrera, who was in Rogue One, played by Forrest Whitaker, powerful performance, powerful actor, and obviously, before that he was in the Clone Wars and in Rebels, voiced by initially by another actor, but to bring someone in fresh, someone new, like Lauren had mentioned with Dr. Aphra, would I think that would be pretty good.
British accent or no British accent? That is the question.
Oh yeah.
The way she talks I almost think she might have a British accent.
I mean, a lot of times they draw her a little bit Asian, sometimes not so much Asian.
Afra?
Yeah,
She's Asian-ish.
sure, right?
I'd say
It really
a good
depends on
way
the
to
art.
explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
The original
well, that
had her.
was Andrew Pacino.
Say again.
What?
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to say it before it escaped my mind. The original voice actor was Andrew Cascino.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it depends on the artist. I think originally she was just Caucasian, common, I guess. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure.
I think as far as casting goes, I think you really need to go for an Asian actress in that role with a British accent.
with a British accent. Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google a picture of her and put her in that Imperial officer outfit and see if it flies. That'd be really cool.
Make sure you send that to me because that'll be my phone background.
Will do. But yeah, so that I would totally watch a Disney Plus Dr. Aphra. I know a lot of people are not into like what's the big deal with Dr. Aphra and this and that, but I think she is. I think one of our patrons, Hyperspace and Holocrons, just posted like, "What's the deal with Dr. Aphra?" I don't see her pull, but she is an interesting character, and I saw a lot of Aphras at Star Wars Celebration last year.
I remember that.
Chad's never been huge on the character, but think about if Disney were to have a Lando and a Dr. Aphra series on at the same time.
Yeah,
I mean, like how much fun, there wouldn't be so much bickering, online. I think if you have those two, like how much, and then you have a more serious, with the Mandalorian.
yeah.
But how much fun would it be to have those shows going on at the same time? You'd have so much to look forward to.
Yeah.
With a cameo from Hondo Anaka.
No,
Yeah.
don't say his name. One of the one things you don't say around us is Hondo Onaka.
We need Pat and Charles from Conversations to do their little Hondo Anaka imitation. But yeah,
Actually, he could be in both shows.
yeah.
I
Totally.
don't want to.
The problem with Dr. Aphra is that outside the comics, nobody in the fandom really knows who she is.
That's the problem.
There's not a whole lot of people. I mean, I could be wrong about this, but based on the conversations I have, there are few people out there that I interact with that know anything about the comic books. They're mostly about the novels and the young adult novels and the movies, of course, and then the Disney Plus shows. But there seems to be fewer people reading the comic books. I mean, there's enough people reading them because they're still printing them, but
Sure.
I think a lot of people said that same thing though when the Mandalorian wasn't Boba Fett,
Right.
and it was
Yeah,
just
that's
some
true.
anonymous Mandalorian, and of course we saw what happened with that. So I think it's sort of the same sort of thing.
Did people expect him to be Boba Fett?
Hopes and dreams.
Some did. I still have a friend of mine who texts me once a month and says, "Dude, this is the origin story of Boba Fett." I'm like, "Dude, it's not."
Jeez. Pretty sure that's episode 2.
But one of the things that I know Conversations had this episode about the ancillary material, the extra like outside material from Star Wars, which I don't have a problem with because there is so much story there in this vast universe that George Lucas created that I think that it needs like the novels, it needs the comic books, it needs the audio dramas in order to flesh out all these characters that have been introduced. And Lauren obviously loves the wonderful female characters, and I do. Star Wars has been replete with not only just great female characters, but great characters all around. So it would be an amazing thing to just kind of see a lot of the characters that have been introduced in the comic books or in any other media that is not the TV or the films to come into the streaming service. And I think Disney Plus is a perfect avenue for that. Do you guys agree? Disagree?
Yeah, we can't underestimate her as a character either, because as Joey alluded to, she survived Vader, right? How many people in the Star Wars universe that have crossed Vader can say that they actually survived Vader?
Luke Skywalker.
And she managed to do it for a couple years. I'm not sure how long the timeline was.
Actually, the comics take place between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. So
yeah. So I mean that's no easy feat. That's nearly an impossible feat to do that. So you got to give her credit for that.
The new series actually goes beyond that timeline as well. It takes place after the Battle of Hoth.
yes.
Yeah, we see Charles Soule writing and taking up the mantle on some of the storylines, and this happened like right after Empire Strikes Back. Luke loses a hand. Someone catches his lightsaber on Cloud City, etc., etc. So, yeah.
She did outsmart him. That's why she's one of the best characters.
And I feel they would be missing something if they did not include 000 as part of that series.
Of course.
Yeah. 000 was one of the best characters.
Yeah.
Those droids really.
Yeah.
As Liv from Pizza and Parsecs would say, they really wagged their tails on that one. So yeah, guys, your namesake says it all. So let's cut to the chase and talk about what I would consider, and I know Brad has heard this many times on our show, the fact that Rogue One is a love letter to Star Wars fans. Joey might have another opinion, but that's okay. I'll just block him and drop him from the stream here. But you guys are Rogue One Radio, and obviously we derive our name, our podcast name, from that film as well. So, what makes Rogue One so special? Steve.
Oh man, we're gonna be here the rest of the night.
That's
I just-
what.
Okay, well, Saw Gerrera is obviously one of my favorite Star Wars characters, if not my favorite character.
It's
But so he was a huge part of that movie. But the thing about that movie is that okay, so from the very first time that I saw the original Star Wars movie, and you saw that opening crawl, and it tells you about the spies that have stolen these plans. From that time, I wanted to know that story. Okay, are you going to tell us about these spies? Are we going to hear something about these spies? My entire life, I was like, I want to know about these spies. They don't say anything about them. And then Disney takes over Lucasfilm and finally gives us the story, who these spies were, how they got the plans. And then, the movie comes out, and then, it's the end of the movie has coined the phrase, "We Rogue One them." Like you've killed everybody.
That is a
Nobody
phrase.
survives.
That is a phrase that he uses often.
So one is just we finally got that story. Two, the characters in that film were just amazing. Like the Candor or the Cassian series that's coming out. I'm really excited for that.
Good.
Yeah, I know.
Again, Saw Gerrera was amazing in it. Jyn Erso. Now, Jyn Erso is a character that I really liked in the movie, but really got more into her as I read Rebel Rising.
Yeah.
I have that book in my room.
And then like Cassian, great character, and even the characters that are from the original, from the prequel and the original trilogy that pop up. You see these cameos of Bail Organa and Leia and
Vader.
And okay, let's talk about Vader. That final scene.
Oh, I shouldn't have said it.
Who in this room did not pee their pants when they saw Vader come out there? Oh, put your hand down.
No, I didn't.
That was the most amazing Vader sequence ever.
And it was almost not in the film, in the finished film.
I heard that. That would have been a huge mistake.
Yeah. But definitely.
So you're getting a story where the Force isn't front and center. It's mentioned, but it's not a huge part of what's going on, which is more, to me, is more, what's the word I'm looking for? More realistic to the galaxy as at large. Not everybody can use the Force.
It puts the wars in Star Wars.
There you go.
That's kind of what I didn't like. Is not
why?
Okay, I'm not. First of all, I'm not into those super war heavy movies. Just as a start, but also I've always known Star Wars based off of you have this war going on, but you also have this mystical power boosting it or controlling it. That's just me. And of course we have the blind guy whose name I don't currently. Sure. Blind guy. I am one with the Force and the Force is with me guy. We have hit, but I don't know. That's just my thing. I like it. It's a good movie. I just don't like war heavy movies, and I've always liked the Force. I don't know.
Well, it wasn't so much a war movie as it was really a spy movie, an espionage movie. A great thing about Rogue One is it really put a new perspective on the galaxy.
And for me, one of the big reasons I enjoyed Rogue One And Brad, we've talked about this a lot. Is the politics of Star Wars and the politics of the rebellion. Cassian kills his informant in the first couple of minutes, and we're like, "Whoa, what the heck just happened?" So we're used to Star Wars being the good guys and the bad guys, but here are the supposed good guys that are doing anything they can to survive. And I think it brings a certain sense of realism to this galaxy far, far away that we're not used to seeing. The fact that Cassian did that, and later on you've got Draven, who tells Cassian, we're not going to bring Jin's father in. Second, you have a chance, blow him away. I mean, that's like some heavy stuff that you don't see in a Star Wars. So that's another reason that I'm really interested in the Cassian series.
That's another thing that I didn't like is I don't like politics. I don't want politics in my Star Wars. And I know that politics has always been a big part of Star Wars.
All over Star Wars.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I don't like being able to see it. I like the idea that it's there, but I don't want to see it.
Brad, you are deep in thought.
I'm just enjoying the conversation. I'll listen to the conversation about Rogue One all day. Before I forget, as far as the Vader scene goes, I think the coolest part for me on that was seeing him in the back to tank, or seeing what was left of him in the back to tank, and the fact that he's got these people that just worship him and also like caretakers at the same time on Mustafar. That was really cool. The only part that disturbed me about that scene was the slight grin from Krennic after being force choked by Vader. So there's something strange going on there. I don't know. But I'll be honest, confession time, the first couple times, I think I saw Rogue One like 8 times in the theater. First couple times, 2 or 3 times, I actually really didn't like it that much. I kind of had a feeling about it, like it was missing something. And I think that's one of those ones you have to watch a few times for it to sort of marinate. And obviously now it's in my top 2 Star Wars movies of all times, right behind Return of the Jedi, which I've said many times on our show. I mean, and I can honestly, like what Steve's saying, I can honestly see how Rogue One could be on people's number 1 on their list. I think Joy Rosales said it in the chat. It has that old school feel to it. And I love the character of Jyn Erso because she is absolutely getting her butt kicked the entire time in that movie. She does not have, and you can like see it on her face, and you can see it, her hair getting more disheveled as the movie goes on. She is just, everything is the kitchen sink is getting thrown at her. Everybody's telling her, no, we can't do this. And she fights through it. We talk about the comic books, which one of the coolest things is in the last run of the Star Wars, the main series, was Luke going to what was left of Jeddah and finding out about the characters that were in Rogue One. And, he paid tribute to whoever this Jyn Erso was. He even mentioned, we talked about not having the Force or not having the Force. He talked, because this was after he blew up the Death Star. He said, yeah, I blew up the Death Star, but I had the Force as my ally to do that. But this small group of people, they didn't have the Force, and yet look what they pulled off. Had they not done that, I wouldn't have been able to take that shot. And to see Luke pay credit to Jyn Erso like that, I thought was pretty amazing.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So my face stopped left that. Didn't notice that.
One of the things, Steve, that you said, or Brad, I think you said it was really cool when you saw Vader in the back to tank. But I wish they kept on going, because they cut away when the face was starting to be revealed. Mm-hmm. They cut away before you actually seen the face. How cool would it have been to see Hayden in that back to liquid? Just for like half a second. Come on, Lucasfilm.
I would have paid myself.
That would have been great.
I want
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen back.
So, have you heard the rumors that he's going to be in the Kenobi series?
I have that. We chatted about that on Twitter, and one of the questions that I had with that scenario was, how are they going to get the two characters together? If they're going to get them somehow together, will it be a flashback? And that's probably the only way to do it. But somebody else had mentioned that perhaps we will see these two characters in a concurrent timeline, not together, but after Vader realizes that there are Jedi out there that are still alive, and Obi-Wan, in hiding or right before he goes into exile on Tatooine to look after Luke. So maybe these two stories are going to run parallel before we see Obi-Wan again. So that would be really cool to see Hayden back, with or without the costume. But we'll see what happens if the rumors are true. All the rumors that we talked about tonight, I don't think any of them have been confirmed by Lucasfilm, have they?
No, they haven't.
Yeah. So we're just sitting here spitballing.
Yeah.
trying to see what has happened.
Yeah.
And going back to the Force for a second, and you mentioned Chirrut Imwe. I like how there's sort of a connection to The Last Jedi, with the use of the Force. When Luke is talking to Rey about the Force and the Jedi having basically a monopoly on the Force, and Luke was trying to tell her that the Jedi did not have a monopoly on the Force. I think seeing characters like Chirrut Imwe and even Jin's mom Lyra, in the original script she was going to be a Jedi, but they changed that up a little bit. There's a little Force use. It's very subtle. There's a little Force use by Jin near the end of it when they're trying to get access to the Scarif base, and she's in the shuttle and she's rubbing that kyber crystal, and you can see that she's saying a little prayer, it looks like, in her head, and then takes about 2 seconds, and then they approve their landing to Scarif. So there are a lot more subtle nods to the Force in Rogue One than people realize.
Well, there's a lot more to the Force than just lifting rocks.
Oh yeah.
I've seen something about how Han has the Force, and that's just luck. I just saw the ATST, and that scared me. I got very scared. But yeah, like Han's luck is. Are you threatening me? But like Han's luck, that's the Force.
Boys.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm about to get out toyed.
How weird is it that the adults have more toys than the kid here?
Wait 1 second. I have something. I've got.
Oh,
Here.
Are you going to?
Okay. Here, I got my little TIE fighter here. This is the rest of it. We're gonna show everyone our toys. Where else are my?
Well, I'm
I
going to have to.
I got a little boss here, a Lego boss, and this is weird. I wasn't expecting this. I would have gotten my toys together. Oh, that's a really cool holocron. That's a Sith holocron, is what that is.
I have all the dark secrets.
Oh, already.
Really? You won't let me play with that, but you show it off to people we've been.
It's not a toy.
Which Steve? Which one is that? Is that the
Slave One?
That was the Slave
okay.
One with Boba Fett.
I've got the what's it called? What's the metal one? The not icons. Anyway.
From the Mandalorian?
No, the slave one. There's
Oh.
anyways.
By the way, hi Danny. I found
Hey, Danny, she's watching. Woohoo!
Hey.
But back to you were mentioning Lyra. She was a really interesting character in the book Catalyst. So if you haven't read that one, to get a little bit more background on Jyn Erso's mother, that's a good one to check out.
Yeah, that's. I haven't checked that one out. I know I jumped on Rebel Rising when that came out, and that was a really good story.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about that book on our Saw Gerrera episode with
We did.
Pat and Charles. So if you haven't checked that one out, guys in the chat, please feel free to check it out. Had a lot of fun with. I think that was probably one of our most hilarious episodes that we had Pat and Charles on there. Coincidence? I think not. But
I
yeah,
have to go watch that, aren't I?
yes.
Yeah, we need to.
While you're doing your chores or mowing the lawn, put those earbuds in and download that episode.
I don't have earbuds. I have big, funky. Where are they? Well, I was gonna take a break. I was gonna listen to that instead of this, but whatever.
But
yeah, that was a fun show to listen to. I really liked. Of course, I mean, I liked Saw Gerrera. So it was good to hear everybody's perspective on it.
That's why he listened to that. Is he loves?
No, I listened to all their episodes anyway, but
mostly because Saw Gerrera.
You're the one. You're the one's been
you're the one that listens.
I'm always trying to track down the 3 people that are listening to us on a weekly basis.
Hey, one's Danny. Just thought.
Okay, so there you go. Who are the other 2?
Maybe back.
Okay.
Maybe back. And Grandma.
I seriously doubt that my mother is listening to our podcast.
By the way, I called her yesterday while I was on break because I'm a good grandson.
Nice.
Just thought I'd point that out.
So, what else about Rogue One? One of the things too that is so amazing. You guys, everybody's mentioning how that film looks like it was just shot in 1970, 77, whatever, and the footage was found and they put it together, right down to the sideburns. I mean, the X-wing pilots had that same look, but one of the really cool things is they brought some of the actors back to read some lines from the Battle of Scarif, and old Red 5 is in it as well. You can find out what happened to Red 5 before Luke took that name. Poor Red 5 was downed on Scarif. Had a bad day. So those are things that really make Rogue One stand out as a special Star Wars from my perspective, and it really definitely added something to the nostalgia of the original film. You can watch those movies back to back and not skip a beat, especially after that last scene where you see Leia. Mm-hmm. So kudos. It's definitely my top 2, right behind The Empire Strikes Back, as we all know the best Star Wars movie out there.
No, we're gonna get back to that. But let us not forget that it also introduced the word Carabast to the Star Wars films. So previously we said, on the small screen, but now we got Pow, one of the best characters in Rogue One. Yeah. I don't know why I love Pow, but I do. But he yells Carabast, so now we have Carabast in the movies.
Did you also notice the very quick glimpse of Chopper that we got in that movie?
Yeah, and the ghost.
And the ghost.
That means Hera was there.
Well, no, and that's the other thing is they also made the announcement for General Syndulla to report to the I think it's like the conference room or some room. Yeah, so they made an announcement for General Syndulla, and I think that may have been the first time we heard her referenced as a general. In the so that was pretty cool.
You know what else we saw for the first time in Rogue One was the Death Troopers.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say Borgullet, but whatever.
That too, yes.
That too.
Borgullet. Yes.
Actually, that's the last time we also saw Borgullet.
Actually,
he needs to have his own show.
No.
Bor Gullet, a Star Wars story.
No,
Oh
it
my
needs
God.
to be a buddy cop film between Saw Gerrera and Borgo.
1 second. Can I block him? Can I mute him and dub him over with funny Star Wars quotes instead? That would be the same.
Have at it.
There's also a boar in the Afra comic. Just thought I'd point that out.
Yep.
I don't know why I
Yeah.
messed around with my harmonica.
Good catch. Good catch. Anything else about Rogue One? I know we can probably talk about this all night. But
We've talked about fan service. I cannot for the life of me understand how people would be against the Vader scene at the end, saying that was paying too much fan service. I
no way.
not get on board with that. I mean, that was Vader unleashed.
That was
Yeah.
that was Vader, period.
Yeah,
Right.
Totally.
Right.
that's a good phrase. Vader unleashed. He definitely unleashed on those guys.
Like Force Unleashed. That was a great game. I don't know.
Excellent.
No, that was
All right. So, Rogue One Radio, thank you guys for joining us tonight. And I know you guys are busy, up to no good on your own podcast, and it's fantastic. Tell folks in the chat and out there where they can find you.
You can find
as
us
far as the
at,
podcast, you can hear us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Stitcher and all of those. But you can also just go to rogue1radio.com, and that's the number one spelled out, not just the numeral one. So just rogue1radio.com. That'll take you to the stream or to the podcast webpage where you can listen to it there. Or go to your favorite podcasting avenue and just look up Rogue One Radio.
Excellent. Little message here from our patron, Matt Vader 74. As far as the Vader Unleashed, Matt Vader 74 Unleashed is way better. I agree with you, Matt. Thank you for chiming in. But
I've seen this thing is safer. It's pretty impressive.
Yes. So, Joey, are you the plucky sidekick to your dad's Rogue One Radio?
No.
Is that your role?
No, I'm the host. What are you talking about? I started this.
Excuse me?
You heard me. Also, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and the one for old people at Rogue1 Radio. See, it's funny because I'm pretty sure Dad still has a Facebook. That was nothing against you guys. You can find us at the number one, not spelled out.
He's grounded.
You're pointing the wrong way.
There, he's grounded.
You can find us at Rogue1 Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you want to find just Steve or Dad, go to Otter272 on Twitter and Gmail. If you want to find me, good luck. You won't find me. If
You live in the
on
shadows.
Instagram too, actually.
let me think. If you want, I think that's it. Or actually, I think we have a Gmail that's Rogue1 spelled out radio.
Nice.
I'm not
Send all your hate mail there.
No,
Exactly.
don't wait. Oh wait, I don't have to read it. What am I talking about?
Well, I'm going to send it directly to your phone.
No, I don't want to have to go through and delete anyone's hate mail.
Excellent. Brad, thank you very much for sticking around. I know you've had a rough day. You're going to have another rough day tomorrow. You know, I brought my work vehicle home with me because obviously stay at home and all that stuff, but I realized I'm off tomorrow. So
I'm not.
that kind of sucks. Charlie Skywalker's in the chat. I know they just finished recording. I think they just finished recording. But Yeah, for sure. You know, if you guys want a little more about what we do over at Red 5 Network, check us out on red5network.com. The number 5, not spelled out. I know there's a lot of confusion here with 1 and 1 that doesn't make 2. But yeah, check us out. We got a lot of other of our member podcasts over at red5network.com. Folks like Charlie and Matt Vader, who's in here. Who else is in here? But thank you guys, everyone, for checking us out, talking a little Star Wars news, a little Rogue One. We're always up for talking Rogue One. Obviously, it's always sunny on Scarif, and that's the Scuttlebutt. You're right, Brad. We're going to have to trademark all our stuff.
Did you want to give away some stuff too?
That is correct. So we have a very special giveaway. One of our patrons, Joey Rosales, has graciously donated a digital code for Solo, a Star Wars story in 4K. And if you have not picked up this movie, you haven't seen it until you've seen it in 4K. It's like the Falcon is like, woo, flying into your face. So what we're going to do is I want you guys to record a short Scarif Scuttlebutt promo. Make it as creative as you can and post it. Tag us and let us know that you made it, and then post it on Twitter or Instagram, wherever you guys have. So we'll be able to see it, and we'll make a selection as to who wins that digital code. Thank you, Joey Rosales, for donating that code to us and giving it away to one lucky Scuttlebutter, but not Matt Vader.
I thought they were buddies. Well, you gave me a hard time. Now you're butters, and you told me you gave me a hard time because they're buddies now. Make up your mind.
I had three glasses of wine, so I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I saw that. It looked pretty good too.
So let's see. You know, tomorrow we'll be recording again. We'll probably do it live as well. And
Saturday.
Oh, that's right. See. Let me see here. Hold on a second. Tomorrow, though, afterwards, we're going to do a Scarif Live a while ago. Saturday. Oh, my God. So tomorrow, no, just kidding. Brad and I are, we've had this very friendly rivalry where I say that The Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie out there. And because of personal reasons, Brad disagrees with me and thinks that I don't know. Return of the Jedi is the best movie out there. So we're going to do a little friendly rivalry, Empire versus... I see you, Charlie. I see you, Charlie.
You're wrong.
We're doing a live live chat, and we'll see which one is better: Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. Both great films, original trilogy films. But we'll have a little friendly conversation. We'll see what the group has to say. And we would love to have you guys in the chat to see. There'll be no winners, but we'll see which one comes out, and we'll see what happens. I agree with you, Matt Vader. Empire.
Charlie's right. Ro will be there tomorrow night by himself,
Yeah,
and I'll be there on Saturday night when we're recording. So it looks like I win by default.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much. Saturday. Hold on a second. Saturday. What time you want to do that Saturday?
We're going to do it after the other recording, so it's going to be a late one.
Excellent. So don't miss. Did he announce that it was going to be us? I think he wanted to keep it a secret. No. Oh well. But our friend over at Death Star Dispatch, we're going to be on his show, and then after that, yeah. After that, we'll do our Scarif Live again. Not tomorrow. But, all right. Any final thoughts?
I vote Revenge of the Sith.
I mean,
So-
with the prequel.
Sure, that could be. That could be.
The only prequel.
All four of us have a differing opinion.
Yeah, right. So, anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with us over here at the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. If you guys have any comments, anything that you want to tell us, maybe something that you guys want to record so we can put it in the show, send us a voicemail. Give us a call over at the Scarif Scuttlebutt hotline. It's 773-234-8659. Give us a call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Operators are standing by. Leave us a voicemail. We really want to hear what's on your mind. Let us know what you're thinking on the Scarif Scuttlebutt podcast. Brad, any final thoughts?
Only that it's always sunny on Scarif.
And that's the Scuttlebutt. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Caravan of Courage. Oh, we got to do, yeah, get out. That's hilarious. All right, guys.
Now who's
Classic.
We will talk to you soon.
for having us.